Picture this, you're 61 years old and you've saved just over $4 million for retirement. Life is looking pretty good, right? But a question still lingers. How much can you actually spend each year in retirement and still feel good that you're not going to run out of money? That is exactly where Karen and Mark are today. They've done the hard part, they've saved diligently, and they've worked for years. They're standing at the edge of retirement, unsure of what level of lifestyle their portfolio can support. So we're going to walk through their retirement model together, and I'll show you how we attempt to answer this question. I want you to focus on the strategies and the principles, not necessarily the numbers. So whether you have $4 million saved more or less, you can still walk away with something from this video. I'm Lena Armith, financial planner and partner at Sensible Portfolios, where I help real people like you achieve their ideal retirement following a simple and affordable approach to investing. So let's cover what you need to know about Mark and Karen. Well, they're 61 years old and they want to retire at age 65. Not because they want to work a few more years. In fact, they don't really even enjoy their jobs that much, but rather because it feels like the standard retirement age. There's nothing special about it. Going into this journey, that's what they've chosen. And so it tells me that Mark and Karen don't understand what their savings and what their income sources in retirement, how that translates into a spending plan in retirement. So we will show what their lifestyle will look like if they retire at 65, but we'll also explore earlier retirement dates. And then by comparing those different plans, Mark and Karen can make a better decision. They can have a clearer picture of when might be the best time to retire for them. Now, they have a number in mind for what they want to spend in retirement, about $12,000 a month after taxes, or $144,000 a year. Now, our goal here isn't just to see if that spending level is possible. Instead, we're going to take a different approach. We're going to look at their total lifetime income. We're going to subtract their total lifetime known expenses, and we're going to look at what's left. What's left, we refer to as their spending capacity. Basically, the amount that they have available to spend over their lifetime without running out of money. That's the beauty of this approach. Rather than asking you what you want to spend in retirement, it actually solves for your capacity or what you have available to spend. Now, on top of that $12,000 a month of regular spending, Mark and Karen want to budget for some special expenses. So in addition to that, we want to plan for travel. They want to budget $40,000 a year, every year for about 5 years after retirement. So we're going to account for that here in the plan, solely for trips and vacations. Cars, they are car people and they want to plan for a new car purchase every so years. Outside of Medicare Part B premiums, which we do account for here in the plan, we want to budget about $8,000, so $4,000 for each of them for out-of-pocket healthcare expenses. And then lastly, their home in Nevada, well, it's worth just under $1 million. They pay close to $8,000 a year in property tax. They have their homeowner's insurance and maintenance in here. Their mortgage, they're hoping to pay off by age 70, and they're on track for that. All of that is accounted for in the plan. In addition to those home expenses, Mark and Karen want to budget for $20,000 a year for home improvement for a few years in retirement as well. Let's talk about income and assets. So Mark earns about $180,000 a year as salary. Karen is over $200,000 a year salary as well. They're going to have strong Social Security benefits. Mark, his estimated Social Security benefit at full retirement age is around $4,000. He plans to delay claiming benefits until age 70. He's going to get that 24% increase in his monthly benefit amount. Karen has a similar benefit amount as well. Her estimated benefit at full retirement age is $3,800 a month, and she's also going to delay to age 70 to get that boost in delayed retirement credits. They have a little over $4 million in their savings. Mark has a 401k of about $1 million. Also includes an employer contribution. Karen has a 401k as well. She's maxing that out. She also has a Roth IRA. And then together in a taxable brokerage account, they have about $2 million. So that's their makeup. The settings and assumptions that I want to call out here on the plan. The first is we're assuming a very conservative and cautious rate of return on their investments, a 5% nominal rate of return. We do back out inflation. Inflation is set to be 2.25% in this model. And so they're earning a real rate of return of about 2.7%. So with all that established, let's run the analysis and understand what Mark and Karen actually have available to spend. What we see is on an annual basis, Mark and Karen can spend over $212,000 a year in today's dollars, right? That represents the purchasing power of today. And they can do that every year for the rest of their lives and never run out of money. Okay? That is spending after things like the home, which includes their mortgage and maintenance, Medicare Part B premiums, those out-of-pocket healthcare expenses that we accounted for, the car purchase happening every so often, home improvement, and again, the travel that they plan to do shortly after retirement. Don't forget taxes as well. So $212,000 a year is available after all of those known expenses. And that breaks down to over $17,000 a month, much higher than the $12,000 a month that Mark and Karen initially came in wanting to spend. So the plan tells us they have more in available resources than what they plan or want to spend in retirement. If we look at their first year in retirement, 2030, when they're 66, we see in the far right total spend of over $430,000 a year. Now, that again represents all the expenses labeled in the gray columns, and it assumes they spend the entirety of the $212,000 that they have in discretionary spending. But the next question is, where's the income coming from to support that level of spending? This is their first year in which they're not earning those high salaries, and Social Security hasn't yet kicked in. So there's a gap, right, between these early years in retirement. The bulk of their income is going to be coming from their retirement portfolios. Retirement accounts starting in 2030, a withdrawal of $136,000 to maintain that level of spending starts to kick in at that age. And then the bulk of their income is going to come from their brokerage account. And we see a large withdrawal of $244,000 happening in 2030. We see that withdrawal amount being pretty substantial for the next few years up until Social Security finally kicks in. So that's really exciting. What it tells me is that there may be an opportunity for Karen and Mark to retire sooner. What if they were to retire at, say, age 62? At a 62 retirement date, they have $185,000 a year in this discretionary spending. That breaks down to over $15,000 a month. Again, much higher than the $12,000 a month they came in here wanting. And so the bottom line is that Mark and Karen now have a much clearer understanding, and they can make a smarter financial decision as to when they want to retire. Retire at 62, maintain their desired lifestyle, or retire at 65 with the ability to spend more. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, or you can visit me at my website, sensibleportfolios.com. You can schedule a call with me directly, and we can talk about your spending in retirement. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.